You're doing a really great job, Chris. So social distancing is a very real thing that obviously Chris and I are breaking, but within our circles we've been quarantined, so it's relatively safe. And what are we supposed to do with, I don't know, hours upon hours of free time other than fix our janky cars?
And so today we're doing brakes. Jake already has some parts, but we're gonna go pick up a few more things that we kind of need, like as to
Grease
install them,
and
like
cleaner and whatnot,
and then like preemptively get some other things that might go wrong just because they're available.
And things will go wrong.
Oh, and they will.
Oh God. And of course, per usual, we picked the worst day. It's raining outside.
It's raining. It's kind of chilly, so this will be fun.
This will be the perfect time.
It's gonna be so great.
Do you think I need this much?
Party.
It's very strange they were not doing like engine code checks because of Corona and everything. Let's ride. Literally not allowed to go off. Well, we're at the Benz again. It's time for brakes. And by time for brakes, I mean just time for the front brakes, because it's all I ordered. Because this car was supposed to go to Radwood until Miss Coronavirus canceled that for us. But we've got them, so let's get it done. They're certifiably dangerous, and I would say this is probably very far overdue. So we're hoping we don't uncover anything else, but we probably will, judging by how this car has treated me for the past month and a half. What are we waiting for? Let's get into it.
Hello. We were not filming, and I think both of us just had a slight aneurysm from putting enough force on these.
This is the assembly. That.
More torque than a Duramax diesel.
More torque than a OM 617. That was a bitch. Really wish we'd filmed it, but it probably would have all been bleeped out.
Rife with swearing and...
Oh God. Thank God for PB Blaster and big muscular men who are off screen. Well, it's darker. You're at a different frame because this has been moved all around, and I have a beer. So as you can tell, things are not going great. My suspicions have been confirmed because why make it simple? Rotor comes off with the hub on these old 123s, and this is the outer bearing that comes off as soon as you take the outer castle nut off. This little guy. Look, can you see that, all that metal flake off that chewed up roller? So the rotational sound I thought that was coming from this hub is in fact the bearing. The question is, do I stop here and put a new outer bearing on? Or do we brave the shutdown streets of Atlanta to try and find a machine shop to do the inner as well, since we're here? A dilemma. I think I know the answer, Chris. We're cheap and we're lazy, so we're just gonna put a new outer one on. I mean, you know, it's never just one thing, is it? So, I mean, hopefully this is the smoothest riding Mercedes in Atlanta after this is done, but, I mean, this is classic car ownership. A million things. Like when do you stop? Might as well replace the shocks too. Those are leaking oil. So fun. The ball joint's totally screwed. Well, another day and the same outfit for both of us. If you couldn't already tell by the lack of footage, this video has already gone fully off the rails. So we're back at the Benz for day 2 of just doing the front brakes, may I remind you. This is just the front brakes. Ma'am, like I was saying, we're back at the Benz for day 2 of the front brake job because while we had the calipers off and the pads out and everything, and we're setting things up, and we're waiting for some new parts because we're missing some sockets, we thought we would bleed the brakes with everything out of them. Just we didn't have any other way to get the old fluid out. It's really dark and full of moisture, so we needed to get it out. So we thought we would just bleed it out. Things went a little awry, and we ended up pushing the entire piston out of the caliper and blew the seal around it. So Chris is behind the camera feeling very dumb right now, and he shouldn't. It's totally fine, and I'm not mad at all. But yeah, we're back at the Benz because now we have a caliper rebuild kit, which we will be showing you how to do, and we're finally going to get it put together, and then at some point we'll do the rear brakes. Anyway, let's get to it.
Well, we are rebuilding the calipers because one of us decided that it was a great idea to bleed the brakes with no pads or rotors in between the pistons of these fixed calipers here. And don't do that.
Don't do that.
So, because what happens is one of the pistons, or both of them, these are dual piston opposed fixed calipers, so one on each side, whereas a sliding would just have one and the whole thing would move. So basically what happened is, this is the driver's side. The piston on this side came all the way out and was gushing fluid. Jake's got the passenger side right there. That one, thankfully, did not have such a dramatic fate. But probably the seals were okay, but this is brakes, we don't want to mess around. So we got rebuild kits. We got new, this is the dust boot right here. So each piston has one of these on the outside. It goes like this, and this is kind of what protects it as it moves in and out. And then, I'm not sure if you can see this, but inside the little recess where the piston goes, there's also a square cut seal, and we've got those as well. Jake just got the dust boot off. Go, Jake. Yes, ma'am. So what I'm working on is getting this little square cut seal out, and I am almost there. Just a little bit of patience.
Or none, if you're me. Well, here they are, ladies. 2 finished calipers. Don't look at me shaking. It's not because I can't hold these up for very long. It's because it's cold. Time to go put these back on the car.
What have we done, Jacob?
Just put everything back together. The retaining clips for the pads, well, new pads, obviously. Retaining clips, retaining spring, and the brake wire sensors, which is a fun little bit of kit. And yeah, let's go put them in the car and see if Chris has single-handedly killed us both. Let's find out. You're doing a really great job, Chris.
At this point, we have everything in place. We've got the rotors in place. We did that last night. Now we've just put the reassembled calipers back onto the car, connected the hard brake lines, and the pad wear sensors. So really at this point, we've just got to bleed the system.
We just have to bleed the system, which knowing this car will take 8 days. Let's take a look at this finished caliper though, because it's,
Look at her go.
wow.
Oh, just got to wipe a little bit of grease off that rotor. And,
This has been the brake job from hell. And this is just the front brakes, because I'm lazy. Safety. Well, as evidenced by the people who are not me buttoning my car up, we bled the system and everything should be good. Famous last words. This has been an absolute bitch. Unforeseen turns in the road, but here we are. And I can't wait for this quarantine to be lifted and we can do the rears in 2 weeks. So let's take a test drive and hopefully don't go careening into, well, I guess there's nothing to careen into these days. With, I mean, there's no one on the road. Will they? There's no one out. We'll find out. Well, you've learned absolutely nothing in this video. Honestly, you've probably learned how incompetent we both are. But here we are. I don't know if y'all want to see more videos of DIYing the Benz or, you know, the saga of bringing this vehicle back to its original state. But, I mean, thank God to Chris. How difficult was it? How would you rate this job?
I mean, it probably would have gone a lot better if I had had the foresight of not shooting the pistons out of the calipers, but we learned how to rebuild calipers.
I was going to say, learning experience, you know, that's part of the whole thing.
Thankfully, it was not that bad.
I think this is illustrative of classic car ownership in that everything you do, add 4 hours and 2 other tasks.
And 2 days.
Yeah, but here we are. My God.
She was a bitch to bleed.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, if you happen to have a 123 and need any advice on bleeding it, call in. We're standing by on a hotline because my God. But she rides smooth now and brakes safely. Yet to be discovered, actually. But
find out in about 5 minutes. If we're dead, you'll know.
Thanks for coming along, and we'll be doing a bit more DIY updates. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Maybe send us money. Please help me.
Nice coffee.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you in the next one.